All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about a pretty wild prediction for the future of work, especially for creative and design teams. The idea is that AI is about to completely flip our team structures upside down. So let me ask you this right off the bat. Is your team structure about to break? Because, the traditional model that's been the backbone of creative industries for decades, it might be facing a complete collapse. To really understand why things are starting to crack, we first have to look at what we're all used to, and that's the classic design pyramid. I mean, this should look super familiar, right? Most companies are built just like this. You've got a few senior leaders at the very top who are setting the big vision. Then you have a layer of managers whose job is to translate that vision into actual projects. And then, at the bottom, a big base of junior talent doing all the day-to-day work. It's been the standard career ladder forever. But that foundation, it's getting hit by a wrecking ball. And that wrecking ball is AI. Our source calls this moment the Great Flattening. And this whole pyramid is really crumbling under two major pressures. Let's break those down. Okay, so the pyramid is getting squeezed from both the bottom and the middle at the same time. First, the base is shrinking. Why? Well, AI is getting ridiculously good at all the tasks junior designers used to do. Creating assets, making a million different versions of something, spitting out initial drafts. So companies just aren't hiring as many entry-level people. And then the middle is vanishing. A lot of the coordination, the project management, the reporting, AI and automation are starting to handle that stuff too. The pyramid is literally being compressed. So what's left? What do you get when you hollow out the bottom and the middle of a pyramid? You get a totally new, kind of weird shape, the barbell. Just picture a barbell from the gym. On one side, you have a really heavy weight. That's your high-level strategy folks. On the other side, another heavy weight. That's your high-skill execution folks. And in between, just a thin little bar. That's the new org chart. The action is happening at the extremes. So this new shape really leaves two main roles. On one end, you have the strategists. These are the leaders totally focused on the big picture, the what and the why. They blend critical thinking with a deep understanding of the business. Then, on the other end, you've got the AI operators. These are the super skilled designers who are masters at using the machines to get things done. They're experts in things like prompt engineering and super fast iteration to get amazing work incredibly quickly. Now, this is absolutely crucial to understand, because the career implications are huge. If the middle rungs of the ladder are just gone, how do you climb? This quote really says it all. The whole idea of just working your way up over a few years might be becoming a thing of the past. This massive shift also means we have to completely rethink what a team even is. It's not just the people sitting in the office or in the Zoom call anymore. We're in the era of hybrid teams. So a modern design team is this mix. Of course, you have humans, but you also have AI agents, you have automated systems, and massive databases that are all active collaborators. Seriously, these things aren't just tools anymore. They're basically team members that contribute to the work. And here's what that actually looks like in practice. An AI might kick things off by summarizing all the user research. Then the human designers jump in to set the creative direction. The AI takes that direction and generates like 100 different concepts in minutes. Then the designers do what they do best. They curate, they critique, they make the final call. And finally, automated systems can take that final decision and build a working prototype. Just like that. It's this constant fluid dance between the human and the machine. So what does it actually mean to work and lead in this new world? Let's take a look at the bigger ecosystem and some of the very real trade-offs that come with it. If you're a leader, your job is changing in a fundamental way. It's becoming less about managing the people who report to you and more about being an orchestrator, like a conductor for a whole symphony of different resources. And that ecosystem is huge. It means plugging into external AI tools, bringing in freelance specialists for very specific jobs, connecting with educational platforms to keep your team's skills sharp, and even tapping into the AI systems from other companies. The best leaders are going to be expert connectors. And that's really the key takeaway here. In this new world, your power doesn't come from how many people you have on your team. It comes from the quality and the reach of your network. A small, super connected team can run circles around a massive, slow-moving one. But let's be real for a second. This isn't some perfect future. There are some serious trade-offs.
On the promise side of things, yeah, you get unbelievable productivity, you get these lean, super efficient teams that are only focused on high-value work. But the peril side is just as real. With no middle layer, you get fewer opportunities for people to grow. You lose that natural mentorship that happens when seniors guide juniors. And you risk losing your organizational memory. The stories behind why past decisions were made, the lessons learned from old projects. That can just disappear.
And that brings us to the really stark conclusion from the source material. This isn't a question of if this is going to happen, but when. The drive for efficiency, combined with the power of the technology, makes this whole transformation pretty much unavoidable. So, we'll leave you with this final, challenging question. The argument is that trying to fight this is pointless. The only real path forward is to adapt. So the question for you isn't whether you should change, but how will you and your team start to experiment to figure out your place in this new barbell-shaped world?